with the Alexander News Show. We're live and it's very late, 12:14 a.m., the 25th of April, 2025, and there was a shooting earlier today at around 1 p.m. We're live here from Miami-Dade County, unincorporated area, on the other side, east of Tropical Park. We are in the warehouse district. Forgot the name of the district, but it's a warehouse area. And basically it is east of the Palmetto Expressway, east of Tropical Park. The address is 7300 Southwest 45th Street. And the shooting occurred at 1, and the details are, it was at a warehouse. One person is dead, one is stable. The gunman, I'm going to read to you the details. One person was killed in a Southwest. This is from Wsvn 7. I'm going to tell you what I'm reading. Basically, I'm going to read you everything. We're here again. This is Alexander Carlos with the Alexander News Show. I've had a long day. One person was killed in a Southwest Miami-Dade warehouse shooting that sent the gunman and another victim to the hospital. Authorities said the incident occurred at an industrial plaza along 7300 block of Southwest 45th Street, near the Palmetto Expressway and Bird Road, at around 1 p.m. Thursday. We're now on Friday. According to investigators, the shooter was involved in a confrontation due to an ongoing family dispute. During that confrontation, the subject shot both victims. Upon arrival by deputies, there was an exchange of gunfire between deputies and the subject. This unfortunate situation is domestic related. This was clearly a family argument, a family problem for many years. The subject went there specifically to confront his half-brother. This was basically said by Miami-Dade County Sheriff Rosa Cordero Stutz. Okay, and she had a press conference earlier today. I wish I would have been here. But let me keep going. John Todaro, the last name is spelled Todaro, who owns the gym next to where the shooting took place, told 7 News he is glad that incident occurred before children arrived at his business. Because remember, it's a school day. It's mostly athletic-based businesses. We're geared towards kids. It's all kids in that complex that we train. Thankfully, this incident happened before our clients got there, he said. Other business owners told 7 News they had to hunker down and shelter in place when gunfire broke out. A witness said he was scared after finding out a shooting had occurred. All right, so I'm going to keep telling you. And I thank you all for tuning in to the Alexander News Show. Let me keep telling you. 3 people, including the shooter, were shot and transported to HCA Florida Kendall Hospital. The shooter was wounded in a deputy-involved shooting and is listed in critical condition. That's basically what I'm seeing right. The latest reports. This is from Wsvn 7 website. Authorities said. And the reason he was wounded again was because Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies were exchanging gunfire with the subject. So, a close friend of the family of one of the victims identified one of the shooting victims as 38-year-old Eddie Rivero. He underwent surgery on Thursday afternoon, but unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. So one of the victims died. Rivero is listed as the owner of Price Right Motors, the used car business where the shooting occurred. The close friend told 7 News the shooter was Rivero's half-brother. The other victim is in stable condition, thank God. Their identity has not been released. A man who described himself as Rivero's brother arrived at the hospital upset and saying that Rivero was shot and killed by the subject. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to continue reading. I provided some details below this video, live feed, and I'm going to give you a glimpse. Let me see if I can give you a glimpse of the crime scene. So right there, where I'm pointing, that's the crime scene. That truck, and of course you see other cars there. There's detectives, crime scene technicians, getting evidence. Okay? And that's where, basically, that's where the business, the used car business is located that I mentioned. And basically that's where the shooting took place. And that's where basically, I'm going to show you here. Where it says, right here it says, wow. Let me see if I can go back here. This is where they basically, is mostly athletic-based businesses. See? And these are the 2 cops. There's a crime scene tape. Well, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you again. Right there is a crime scene tape. But that, right there, that big truck with the lights that are kind of turned on and that kind of stuff, that's the crime scene. That's from Miami-Dade Sheriff. And so basically, I can't go any further in. I'm right here. I'm the only media guy here because I'm basically, you're probably asking, why didn't you come earlier? Well, because I was tied with other things. Yeah, Joe Smith, thank you for tuning in. It is such a tragedy. But I'm going to show you the area around here. I know this area pretty well. And you see right here, basically, I'm showing you the area. And when I pulled up, I saw the Miami-Dade cops, and they like zoomed. They got out and they looked at me and like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm media. And I'm like, yeah, you got to hear the officer, the deputy said, yeah, you came a little bit too late. I know. But I needed to come here still. I wanted to come here still because this is like it's a big deal because when this was going on, it was pretty much more like all hands on deck. Like the shooter was shooting the deputies and pretty much officers from Miami-Dade Sheriff, like every district. And not only that, but the Florida Highway Patrol and then other agencies as well had to come. Literally, it was basically like all hands on deck. And when this happened, thank you, Nadger. When this happened and the Burr Road was pretty much blocked off. There was a huge police presence on Burr Road when this happened. And I was not anywhere near when Burr Road. And it's funny. I know this area pretty well because my mechanic is a good friend of mine. When this happened, where this happened literally is like 4 blocks away. My mechanic is 4 blocks away. And I've been coming here for the last 12 years. This area, where my mechanic is located, to always getting my car serviced, blah, 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 whatever. And when this happened and I saw this, that it occurred, and I got it, I saw it I got a notification on my phone about this thing going on. And I went and I called my mechanic, and I wanted to make sure he was okay. My mechanic, Ivan, I called him and I said in Spanish I went like that, and le pregunté, oye, ¿tú estás bien? Y dijo, sí, estoy bien. So anyway, personas de Alexander News Show, quería decirte, lo único que te puedo decir, hubo un tiroteo hoy a la 1 y pasó en la zona de, te voy a decir, 7300 Southway, 45 calle, este del Expressway Palmetto y este del Parque Tropical Park. Y una persona murió, que es el dueño del negocio de carros usados. Déjame ver si lo busco otra vez. Quiero decirlo un poco en español. Déjame ver si lo veo aquí. Espérate. Déjame ver. Déjame ver aquí. Ay, coño. Yo había dicho el nombre del negocio, pero bueno. La persona que mató la víctima es el medio hermano de la persona que murió, y esa persona empezó el subject, el criminal. Perdóname, estoy tratando de hablar lo mejor. Estoy tratando de hablar lo mejor posible español. Bueno, él se empezó a meterle tiroteo con los policías y los policías le metieron. Y entonces él está en situación crítica en el hospital Kendall Regional Hospital. Y todo esto pasó como a la 1. Y es horrible. Déjame ver si yo te puedo otra vez decir el nombre del negocio. Y es una... Yo no estaba ni cerca de aquí. Déjame ver el nombre del negocio, coño. Yo lo tenía. Y hubo 3 personas que fueron al hospital. El tiroteo, el tipo que es el shooter, le metió a 2 personas. Uno de ellos está en situación, en condición estable, y el otro murió, que es el medio hermano. Y el tercero, que es el criminal, el subject, está en condición crítica. Y claro, yo no le deseo la muerte a nadie. Ojalá que viva, pero él tiene que pagar su precio. Va a tener que pagar bien fuerte. Y bueno, yo estaba... esto es importante. El Departamento de Florida Department of Law Enforcement va a hacer una investigación completa. Porque como fue un sheriff, como fue un policía metiéndole a un subject y matándolo, y eso es normal. Siempre cuando es algo así, que un policía le mete a un subject, ellos tienen que investigar. Florida Department of Law Enforcement is going to do a investigation, which is protocol in deputy involved shootings or police involved shootings. It's always like that. Of course, so it's a sad situation. So look, before I get going, because I'm going to go live on TikTok, and yes, I will be going live on TikTok. If you want to tune into TikTok, you can just download the app and just follow me on Alexander News Show 23. If not, it's okay, because you got the news here. It's 12:28 Eastern Standard Time. Son las 12:28. And Alexander News Show, basically, I appreciate you tuning in this late and watching. I'm gonna zoom in one more time. Yeah, you see. These officers and the technicians and the investigators, the homicide investigators, are literally still processing evidence. So what they're doing right now is processing evidence. This is a homicide scene, guys. And that's it. This is a homicide scene. But I needed to come here and I needed to go live and do a report on this. I had to. And it's pretty sad. Yo tenía que venir aquí y venir de vivo, estar en vivo. Tenía que hacerlo. Pero es una tristeza, you know, before I get going, listen, I don't know in what mental state the half-brother of this guy, the subject, I can only imagine what's going through his mind for him to get a gun. And, you know, the only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this right now, individuals with mental health problems, they need to this country, the US of A, and this is not a Republican thing or a Democrat thing, there needs to be stricter laws and to keep individuals with mental health issues away from guns and holding guns. I hope that there'll be one day will come that there'll be a day that individuals with mental health issues will have no ability to be able to have access to guns. Mental health individuals with mental health problems and guns do not mix. They don't mix. Because this guy that did the shooting and did this crap, clearly, from what I could tell, had a mental health issue. So, I hope that one day, at least in my lifetime, I'll get to see, and I'm 48, that they'll make the laws a lot stricter. Because it's really sad. And this guy that did this, if he makes it, and I hope he makes it, because he's got to face justice. I hope he makes it, goes to court, they find him guilty of murder, or he pleads guilty, whatever, and he gets life in prison, or whatever comes to him, because nobody deserves to die, especially be murdered. Nobody deserves to be murdered. So, I just hope, you know, the problem, you know, and you know, the whole gun control issue, that is a conversation for another day. And look, I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican. I'm a Trump supporter. And I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment. But, you know what? Now you see a truck that just left. I think that's the van or the truck. But, so you know what? But still, you know what? There has to be some kind of gun control legislation passed in our country. And there has to be. You know, now look, in Florida now, the legislature cleared the way for 18-year-olds to own guns. It was 21 and over. Now it's 18. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. 18 years old, and you can own a gun. DeSantis hasn't signed it into law. I hope he doesn't. I hope he vetoes it. I hope he vetoes that, because that's terrible for an 18-year-old. Oh my God. And yeah, and you know, we got a mental health issue in our country. We do. We got a mental health issue in our country. And yeah. We got We got a mental health problem in our country. And again, that's a conversation for another day. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Alexander Carlos, Alexander News Show. Este es el show de Alexander News Show. You can catch Alexander News Show on all social media platforms. Okay? I mean, I'm on every platform there is, from Facebook to Instagram, and I am on podcasts. And this will be on podcast, by the way. This live feed will be on the podcast later on. Podcasts, mainly Spotify and Iheart Podcast Network. So I am all over the place. All over the place. Now, and by the way, you know, and all the information is down there. And by the way, I'm also on NewsBreak. You can download NewsBreak. I'd recommend you download NewsBreak. NewsBreak is, I mean, let me tell you, it's a great app for news and, you know, to get all the news. I get a lot of my news. Most of my news, I actually get it from there. That's how I found out about this. I found out about this shooting basically on NewsBreak. That's how I found out about it. I got a notification. NewsBreak is really great. The link to my NewsBreak is below the screen right now. So we're live from Miami-Dade County, unincorporated Miami-Dade. Estamos en vivo de Miami, el condado de Miami-Dade. Esto no es una ciudad, esta es la parte unincorporated. Y bueno, what else can I say? Like the mechanic told me, my friend mechanic told me, this guy, this gunman, who's still in critical condition, he may not even make it. If he dies, he took care of all his problems with a couple of bullets, a little firefight with the police. It's a really terrible idea to get into a firefight with police because you ain't gonna win that. There's no damn way you're gonna win a gun battle with police. That's not gonna happen. Especially when SWAT team shows up. I mean, forget that. But yeah, he took care of all his problems. I mean, whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, if you want to donate to Alexander News Show, Cash App, okay? Alexander News Show, the cash sign, the dollar sign, the money sign, and Alexander News Show is on Cash App, okay? Just want to let you know. Donate the show. That's what keeps me going. I'm not entitled. I'm not beholden to anyone. And this is what's awesome about being by yourself. Like I'm with Iheart Podcast Network, but even though I'm with Iheart Podcast Network, they pretty much let me be who I am. As long as it's the same with YouTube. As long as I don't do any crazy remarks and put any fake news, I'm okay. I'm not beholden to anybody. Anyway, I just want to let you know. So, it's very late. And I'm going to let you all go because I'm going to do a quick live feed from TikTok. And then I'll be pretty much done for today. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Le doy muchas gracias a ustedes por meterse y mirar el Alexander News Show. Le doy muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Y gracias a ustedes por tu apoyo. And you notice one thing, I don't say subscribe to the Alexander News Show. Subscribe to the Alexander News Show. Please hit the bell for notifications. I don't say that nonsense anymore. I just put watch this. That's it. This is just like watch this. I mean, if you like the content I post, and I basically post and that kind of stuff and that kind of shit, whatever, you're gonna hit the bell for notifications. You're gonna subscribe to my channel, and you're gonna always want to tune into me. You're not gonna tune into me because I tell you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I mean, come on, man. But anyways, Nadger, FC5. Muchas gracias. Gracias, gracias, gracias. So I'm going to let you all go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm so grateful to you all that are my followers, my listeners. I didn't go to school for journalism. I didn't do everything that I'm doing is I had to learn on my own from scratch. And I'm probably going to talk about it more because I need to talk more about it. So right now, real quick before I let you go, hold on, real quick before I let you all go. Let me see if I can shine in. I don't think I can zoom in even anymore. But right there's investigators are there working the crime scene. Technicians. Yeah. And you got the crime scene tape. Ahí son los investigadores, los técnicos. You see the guy in the suit? That's a homicide detective right there. That dude right there, you see right there? You see him? That is a homicide detective. And he's just walking. And you see he's kind of like looking over. So if you see that he's kind of like looking over, and you see that he's kind of bending and he's walking around, that's the business right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Muchas gracias. And I'm grateful to God. God is great. And I'll see you all on another live feed. And by the way, I'm going to be bringing Crime Check. The old show, Crime Check. I only did like 3 episodes of that, but that's coming back very soon, okay? Ching ching. That's right. That's coming back. And big things are going to be coming to Alexander News Show. I'm going to be traveling this year. I got a couple places I'm going to be going to. I'm trying to raise some money, by the way, because everything's self-funded. I'm going to see if I go to Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm going to see if I go to Jacksonville, Florida. Those are the 2 places or Atlanta. And I'm going to try to show you the hoods. Oh, here's a detective coming right now. So that is my goal. You got cops, so you got a couple of cars leaving. These are all detectives, by the way. These are all detectives. And they're leaving the scene. But yeah, and that's another one. And you can't get in. And, you're probably wondering, why don't you go in any further? I can't. This is a crime. That's a crime tape. I can't. I cannot go in. And that's a detective right there too. Homicide detective. These are all the detectives that are here. They're all homicide detectives. Usually, you have between 5 to 7 homicide detectives working the scene. Usually, that's how it is. When there's a homicide, there'll be like 5 to 7 homicide detectives. Just a little heads up. Siempre va a haber como 5 a 7 investigadores de homicidios, homicide detectives, siempre trabajando a crime scene. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I thank you all for tuning in, watching. Gracias por mirar el Alexander News Show. I'm going to be going into TikTok real quick, do a live feed, and then I'm done. You all have a great night, a great morning. It is right now 12:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one, all.